Buenos días. Bienvenidos a la clase de español. Welcome to our class. Today we will learn how to talk about our daily routine activities. La rutina diaria in the morning. I'm going to share the screen with you. You can follow the lesson. The objective for today's lesson is to be able to write about your daily routine activities. So at the end of this lesson, you should be able to do that. The essential question that you will answer at the end is, ¿cuál es tu rutina en la mañana durante la semana? What's your daily routine in the morning during the week? Okay. We have some pictures here. We briefly review our vocabulary words, and then I will teach you how to conjugate the verb to make it into sentences. Number one is to wake up. Wake up, despertarse. Número dos, levantarse, to get up. Número tres is to put soap on your, in this case, your face. Number four is to rinse off. Number five is to dry off. This is, to rinse off is juagarse, juagarse. And number five, to dry off, secarse. Number six is to brush your teeth, or in this case, or it could be your hair. So cepillarse. If you notice, all these verbs are ended in SE, which means the verb is reflexive. What I tell people to remember is, remember the reflection of you in the mirror. When you look at yourself in the mirror, you see your reflection. So these verbs are reflexive, which means what the person who performs the action is the one who receives the action as well. See? In English, you don't need to say that. Like if it's like I brush my teeth myself. But again, in English, it sounds very weird. But in Spanish, that's what you need to do. So these are reflexive verbs. How do you recognize a reflexive verb? They all end in SE. Okay. So how do I conjugate the verb? Let's see. The reflexive pronoun at the end will be replaced by the corresponding reflexive pronoun for each subject pronoun. Yo, tú, él, ella, nosotros, vosotros, ellos. See, so you need to memorize those in order to conjugate the verbs. If you're going to talk about something you do to yourself, like I put soap on myself, on my face, me. Yo me enjabono. Tú te, if it's you, te enjabonas. Él o ella se enjabona. Nosotros, nos enjabonamos. Vosotros os enjabonáis. Ellos se enjabonan. So you place the reflexive pronoun that you take away from the ending of the verb in infinitive between the subject pronoun and the conjugated verb. So after that, what do you have left? Like for this particular lesson, all the verbs are AR verbs. So after you take the SE off, you have an AR verb. Then you need to conjugate that part. So you already took care of the SE part. Now you need to conjugate the verb, the AR verb, to match to the subject pronoun as follows. Enjabonarse is an AR verb, so yo enjabono. So you drop the AR and you add the ending. Enjabono, tú enjabonas. Okay. En él, ella enjabona. Nosotros enjabonamos, vosotros enjabonáis, ellos enjabonan. Okay, so how do I make this into a real sentence? Let's practice. So we have an activity here. Practice, complete the statements with one of the verbs from the word bank, then conjugate them. So the first thing you need to do is determine which verb goes where. right? So I did number 1 for you because it's a stem changing verb too, and we're not gonna cover that today in this lesson, okay? So Anna, what is the first thing she does? She wakes up, see? How do you say wake up? Ella, so it will be despertarse, see? So S-E-O, and by the way, for the elo ella form, as well as the ellos ellas form, the reflexive pronoun is the same as the one in infinitive. So it's se, see? So Ana se, Ana will be ella, se despierta. Again, I told you I did this one because this is a stem changing verb and we're going to cover that today. But E goes to IE. Ella se despierta a las 6:30 de la mañana. And then what does she do next? Let's look at the picture. She gets up, right? How do you say gets up? Es levantarse. See? So what do? Take this SE, that in this case is the same reflexive pronoun for her, se, and then conjugate the verb, the AR verb to match with ella form. See? So ella se levanta, and we have the ending right here for elo ella. Ella se levanta. See? Luego, then ella, what else does she do? She puts soap on her face. See? And how do you say to put soap on your face? It's enjabonarse, right? So, enjabonarse, so ella, reflexive pronoun, is the same as the here. And what is the ending for elo ella form? AR verbs and jabón. She puts up on herself. What does she do after? Oh, sorry. What does she do after? Ella, she rinses off her face. How do you say to rinse off? Ella se enjuagarse. Ella se juaga. Remember the ending for AR verbs, third persons is a. Se enjuaga. Y what does she do after she rinses off? She dries her off, right? Ella se, reflexive pronoun, se, and how do you say to dry off? Secarse. So ella se secar, drop the AR, and then put the A for to match with the L the form. Se seca la cara y después ella, wait a minute, let's skip one here. Se enjabona, se juega, se seca la cara. And here we have, I think this one is, we have an extra one here. Después, o mientras, while her husband, what does he do? While she's getting ready, what does he do? He's brushing his teeth. See? How do you say to brush? Es cepillarse. So what is the reflexive pronoun for he or she? Él is the same. See? So se, and then cepillar. See? Cepillar is an AR verb, same thing. So we already took care of the reflexive pronoun. Now we're gonna conjugate the verb. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Se cepilla. Oh my goodness, too many L's. Se cepilla. Okay. And that's it. This is the lesson for today. Remember, there are 2 steps. If the verb is a regular verb like cepillarse, lavarse, so you need to think of 2 steps. Now for homework, I want you to answer the essential question. ¿Cuál es tu rutina en la mañana durante la semana? Okay? What is your daily routine in the morning? And make sure you use transition words to make them more appealing. Okay, so first, then, okay, then, while, okay, so use at least one transition word. Hope you learn a lot. This is the end of our lesson. Have a wonderful day. Hasta luego.